That black stuff you've been scrubbing for 20 minutes, you just made it worse. I know that sounds backwards. Your gut tells you to scrub harder, use more bleach, get in there with a stiff brush. That's what most people do. That's exactly why mold keeps coming back in the same spot every single time, like clockwork. My grandfather dealt with mold in restaurants. My father dealt with it in hospitals. I've been cleaning professionally for over 18 years, and the single biggest mistake I see homeowners make, the one that wastes their time, their money, and their health, is scrubbing mold. Today, I'm going to show you why scrubbing is the wrong move, what actually happens when you do it, and then I'm going to walk you through the method we use in professional cleaning, the one that kills mold properly and keeps it gone. No special equipment, nothing fancy, just real technique. Let's start with the problem most people actually have. You notice some dark spots near your sink, maybe around the faucet base, maybe in the grout lines between your backsplash tiles, maybe under the lip of the countertop where it meets the wall. Your first move is completely natural. You grab a sponge, maybe some spray cleaner, and you start scrubbing. And here's what happens. The surface looks cleaner. The visible black color goes away, or at least fades. You feel like you won. Then 2 weeks later, it's back. Same spot. Sometimes it looks worse than before. This cycle is what I call the scrub loop. People get stuck in it for years. They're not lazy. They're not dirty. They're just using the wrong approach for what mold actually is. Here's something most cleaning videos don't bother to explain. Mold is not dirt. Dirt is passive. You scrub it, it comes off, it's gone. Mold is alive. It's a living organism with roots, technically called hyphae, that dig into porous surfaces like grout, caulk, wood, and drywall. When you see black mold on your grout, what you're looking at is the surface layer. The actual organism is already inside the material underneath. When you scrub it, two things happen that make your situation worse. First, you break the mold colony apart. Mold spreads through spores, microscopic particles that float in the air. A single mold colony can contain millions of spores. When you scrub it aggressively, you're not removing those spores. You're launching them into the air in your kitchen. They land on other surfaces, they get into your ventilation, and within days, they start growing in new locations. You didn't clean the mold. You replanted it. Second, you damage the surface. Grout is not indestructible. When you go at it hard with a stiff brush or an abrasive scrubber, you're creating micro scratches and pitting in the surface. Rough surfaces hold moisture better than smooth ones. More moisture means better conditions for mold to come back, faster and stronger than before. So the scrub loop makes perfect sense once you understand it. You scrub, you spread spores, you roughen the surface, you create better mold conditions, and in 2 weeks, you're scrubbing again. That loop can go on for years. I've seen it in homes where people swore they cleaned constantly. They did. They just used the wrong method. Now let's talk about why this happens at the root level, because if you understand the reason, the solution will make complete sense to you. Mold needs 3 things to survive: moisture, organic material to feed on, and oxygen. In your kitchen, all 3 of those exist in abundance. Moisture comes from cooking steam, dishwashing, wet sponges sitting on the counter, and condensation. Organic material comes from soap residue, food particles, and even the minerals in your tap water. Oxygen is everywhere. So the conditions for mold in a kitchen are almost always present. That's not your fault, that's just the environment. Now, here's the part that matters. When you scrub mold and it goes away, what you've actually done is removed the surface growth, but the root structure, those hyphae I mentioned, are still anchored in your grout or caulk. They're dormant, not dead. As soon as moisture returns, which in a kitchen it always does, those roots activate and the colony rebuilds. This is why the mold comes back in the exact same spot, not a different spot. It's rebuilding from its own existing root system. Professional cleaners don't try to physically remove mold. We try to kill it, all the way down to the root, and then address the moisture conditions that let it survive in the first place. There's a health angle here that I want to be straightforward about. Disturbing mold by scrubbing it aggressively releases spores into the air. Breathing in mold spores isn't good for anyone, and if you have people in your home with asthma, allergies, or any respiratory issues, scrubbing mold in an enclosed kitchen is genuinely a bad situation. You don't need to panic about it, but you should know that the scrubbing method isn't just ineffective, it's creating an airborne exposure every single time you do it. That's a real reason to change your approach, not just for cleanliness, but for the air quality in your home. There's one more piece of this that almost nobody talks about. The cleaning products most people use when scrubbing mold, your standard kitchen sprays, your all-purpose cleaners, are not designed to kill mold. They're designed to cut through grease and lift dirt. They might lighten the appearance of mold. They don't penetrate and kill the organism. So you're scrubbing with a product that can't actually do the job you're asking it to do. That's 3 problems stacked on top of each other: wrong technique, wrong product, and damage to the surface that makes everything worse. Alright, here's the method I use. This is what works. I'm going to walk you through it step by step, and I want you to notice that scrubbing is not part of this process until the very last step, and even then, it's gentle, not aggressive. What you'll need: hydrogen peroxide, the standard 3% solution from any pharmacy, not the strong stuff, the normal brown bottle; white vinegar, plain grocery store white vinegar; baking soda, a spray bottle; an old toothbrush or a soft bristle grout brush; paper towels or old cloths you don't mind throwing away; and rubber gloves. That's it. Nothing exotic. This whole setup costs you almost nothing if you don't already have it. Before you go near the mold, open a window, turn on your range hood or any fan you have. You want air moving through the space. This isn't dramatic preparation, it's just practical. Any mold you disturb during the cleaning process, even with the right technique, will release some spores. Moving air reduces the concentration of those spores in your breathing space. 30 seconds to open a window. Do it every time. Pour your 3% hydrogen peroxide into a spray bottle. Spray it directly and generously onto the mold. Get it wet. Don't wipe it, don't touch it. Now, walk away for 10 minutes. This is the part where most people fail. They spray something on and start scrubbing immediately. That defeats the purpose. The hydrogen peroxide needs time to penetrate the surface and start breaking down the mold organism from the inside. If you wipe it right away, you're just moving the product around without giving it time to do anything. Set a timer, 10 minutes minimum. For heavy mold, I go 15. What's happening during that time is the hydrogen peroxide is releasing oxygen molecules into the porous surface. Mold cannot survive in a high oxygen environment. The peroxide is essentially suffocating the organism at the root level, not just at the surface. After 10 to 15 minutes, come back with a paper towel. Press it against the mold, hold it there for a few seconds, lift it straight up. Fold it over to a clean section, press again. Repeat. You're blotting, not wiping. You're lifting what the peroxide has broken down, not spreading it across the surface. You'll see the color transferring to the paper towel. That's the mold coming off. Keep going until the paper towel is coming up mostly clean. Throw those paper towels straight into the bin. Don't reuse them, don't leave them on your counter. Bin immediately. Mix baking soda with just enough water to make a paste, thick like toothpaste. Apply it to the grout lines or wherever the mold was. Now this is the only point in the process where you use the toothbrush, and you use it gently. Work the paste into the surface with light pressure. You're not trying to remove material, you're working the baking soda into the pores of the grout. Baking soda does 2 things here. It's mildly abrasive, which helps lift any remaining surface residue without damaging the grout. And more importantly, it raises the pH of the surface. Mold strongly prefers an acidic or neutral environment. An alkaline surface, which is what baking soda creates, makes it much harder for mold to re-establish itself. Leave the paste on for 5 minutes. Rinse off the baking soda with a damp cloth, then spray white vinegar over the entire area. You'll see some fizzing if there's any baking soda residue left. That's fine. The vinegar is doing a final kill pass. It's acidic enough to break down any remaining mold spores that the peroxide didn't get. Let the vinegar sit for 5 minutes, then wipe it dry with a clean cloth. Dry is the key word. After all of this, you want the surface as dry as possible. Moisture is what mold needs. Remove the moisture, and you're removing the conditions that allow it to grow back. This is the step that actually determines whether the mold stays gone or comes back. The hydrogen peroxide and vinegar killed what was there, but if you don't fix the moisture situation, new spores, which are floating through the air of every kitchen on Earth, will land on that surface, find the conditions favorable, and start a new colony. Look at the area where you found the mold. Ask yourself, why is this spot consistently damp? Most of the time, the answer is one of 4 things. A sponge or cloth sitting in the same spot and staying wet. The fix is simple. Store your sponge somewhere it can dry out completely between uses, or switch to a brush that dries faster. a gap in caulk where water is getting in behind the surface. If your caulk is cracked or separating, re-caulk it. That's not a big job, and it makes a significant difference. Poor airflow in that corner of the kitchen. A small fan, keeping the window cracked while cooking, or even just reorganizing so air can circulate better will help. Steam with nowhere to go. If you're cooking without the range hood running, turn it on. Even a few minutes of ventilation after cooking drops the moisture level in your kitchen noticeably. Deal with the moisture source, and the mold treatment you just did will actually hold. Once you've done this full treatment, maintenance is simple. Once a week, spray white vinegar on your grout and tile surfaces, particularly near the sink and any areas that stay damp. Let it sit for 2 minutes, wipe dry. That's it. 60 seconds of prevention once a week. The vinegar keeps the surface pH hostile to mold and picks up any early spore growth before it can establish. You'll never need to do the full treatment again if you keep up with this. I've been doing this in my own kitchen for years. The people I've taught this to, clients, friends, family, they stop having the mold problem. Not because their kitchens are special, because they stopped fighting mold the wrong way and started using an approach that addresses what mold actually is. One more thing I want to mention. If you've got mold that covers an area larger than about 10 square feet, or if it's inside a wall, or if it keeps coming back no matter what you do, that's a different situation. That needs a professional assessment. Large mold infestations can indicate a structural moisture problem, a slow leak, a condensation issue in the wall that no surface cleaning will fix permanently. Know when a cleaning method is the right tool and when the problem is bigger than the method. For normal kitchen mold, the kind that shows up in your grout, around your faucet, along your backsplash, this method handles it completely. Let me leave you with the main points. Scrubbing mold spreads spores and damages your surface. It makes the problem worse in ways you can't see right away. Mold has roots that go into the surface. You have to kill it, not just remove the surface layer. Hydrogen peroxide penetrates and kills. Baking soda prevents regrowth. Vinegar maintains an environment mold doesn't like. And the most important thing, fix the moisture source. Without that step, nothing holds. If this gave you something useful, subscribe. I put out practical cleaning content every week, the kind that comes from actually doing this work, not from reading about it. Drop a comment below and tell me your biggest cleaning problem, the one that keeps coming back no matter what you try. I read every comment, and those are exactly the videos I make next. And if you've got grout that's stained but not moldy, the gray, dingy kind that used to be white, watch this one next. Same idea, there's a right way and a wrong way, and the wrong way is what most people do. See you in the next one.